This is the project we're going to do today. This is a Christmas ornament made using one of the plastic ornaments included in the Hero Arts November 2019 kit. And this ornament has the same scene on the front and the back. Okay, I'm going to stamp this particular stamp from the Hero Arts From the Vault Winter Joy stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it on some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, and I will use some GS-Hypo Designs black amalgam ink. Okay, and now I want to mirror stamp the same stamp, so I'm taking a thick piece of plastic and I'm going to place it down on my stamping platform, and I'm going to place the stamp that I want to mirror stamp on this right side up. And then I'm going to take a Paper Smooches mirror stamp, one that is big enough to accommodate it. Let's see, I guess we'll use this one. And then I will close that on top. And I'm going to start by inking up the stamp with the GS-Hypo Designs black amalgam ink, and then transferring it, stamping that onto the mirror stamp, and then taking the mirror stamp and trying to transfer the image to the paper. But I'm finding for some reason the GS-Hypo Designs ink just is not transferring from the mirror stamp very well. So I am going to switch over to using some Memento Tuxedo Black. Here I'm putting it onto the mirror stamp, and then I'm stamping from the mirror stamp onto the paper. So I put the ink on the stamp, I lower the mirror stamp to transfer the image onto the mirror stamp, then I put the paper on and transfer the image from the mirror stamp onto the paper. And I've had to do this multiple times to get a dark enough image. And because of the first trial with the GS-Hypo Designs, the image was a little bit smeared, but it was still acceptable. Okay, and now I'm going to go scan this into my ScanNCut. Okay, I've taped my paper onto my ScanNCut mat using some micropore tape, and I'm going to load it into the machine. I'm going to scan, direct cut to the internet, and start. Okay, and I'll click OK. Now I'm not going to unload my mat. I'm going to go to my computer now and open up my CanvasWorkspace program. Okay, I'm going to come over here to Image Tracing, and I'm going to select an image scanned by your machine right here. Now I'm going to draw my own cut file, so I'm just going to click OK at this point. I don't care what tracing it did. I'm going to come over here to the layers view, and all the shapes that it found except for the image, which is the last one, I'm going to select those and delete them because I want to make my own cut file. Now I'm going to zoom over the normal stamp as opposed to the reverse stamp, and then I'm going to just manually draw a cut file around that. So I'm going to use my path tool, and then I'm just going to click my left mouse button Okay, now if I want to fix it a little bit, like some of these points here are a little too jagged, and so I'm going to just click it until I get into my points, edit, and then I can fix this so that the edges aren't quite so sharp. And I am going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to flip this. And I also want to flip it upside down so that, actually I don't want to flip it upside down. Maybe I don't want to flip it this way. Okay, like that, so that it will go around the mirror stamp. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to File and transfer the FCM file via the internet. All right, now we are back to our ScanNCut, and so I'm going to go ahead and click this icon and click OK. I'm going to select Cut and make sure my half cut is off and my pressure is set to auto, and press Start. Okay, and I'll use some Copic markers. Okay, now I'm going to take the Glitter Lacquer Pen that came with the November 2019 kit, and I'm just going to put little dots where the snow is here. And I'm also going to put some highlights of snow on the roofs and the trees. Okay, now I'm going to wait for a while to give this glitter lacquer pen a chance to dry, and we'll be back. And I'm going to take some 4-pound mono-filament fishing line and use some score tape on the back of one of my little scenes, and then I'm going to put the monofilament line and sandwich it between the two. Now, something I should have done is also sandwich it in the other direction so that I have a cross instead of just a straight line. And now I'm going to take one of the ornaments from the Hero Arts November 2019 kits, and I'm going to thread that top line of the fishing line through the hole in the hanger part of the ornament and stretch the line between the top and the bottom of the bulb, and use some Scotch tape to temporarily hold the fishing line in place. And it's about this time that I realized I really should have also put a fishing line perpendicular to the original fishing line so that it would hold my scene straight in the ornament. Okay, so I'm going to carefully pry open the side of that to see if I can stick a little piece of fishing line to come out perpendicular to the original fishing line so that I can hold things in place. So I'm just trying to put that little piece of fishing line in there so that I can stabilize the image inside the ornament. And I'll put the Scotch tape on there again to hold the fishing line into place. Now I'm going to use some GS-Hypo cement, and I'm going to put a little dab of glue at each of the points where the fishing line is going to be coming out of the ornament, just to kind of hold the fishing line in place when I seal the two halves of the ornament together. And having a devil of a time doing it, but I accidentally pulled out the little piece of fishing line, so I've got to put that back in there. And now I'm sealing the two halves together, removing the Scotch tape. And then now I'm going to take the scissors and cut off the fishing line that's sticking out. And then I'm going to tie a knot through that top piece, and then I'm going to use some of the Hypo cement to seal that knot. And now I'll take some ribbon that I have in my stash and thread it through the hole in the ornament to use as a hanger. And here is the finished ornament. It's got the same scene on the front and the back. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.